Hey friends, welcome back to this week's episode of the Wealth Expedition. I want to talk to you about something that many responsible people struggle with at one time or another, even though it's not often said out loud. Now, people work hard, they save, they invest, and yet when it comes time to actually spending money, it's easy to feel a certain level of guilt, like a lurking shadow that says there's more responsible ways to be spending this money. But the truth isn't a lack of discipline, it's a missing system or a misunderstood system that lacks awareness of what is actually healthy spending and what is truly disruptive to your wealth plan. A framework is needed that lets you spend money intentionally without stress or guilt, even while you're building real wealth. Guilt that's centered around spending usually shows up not because we lack enough income or savings, but because our budget is either too broadly defined so that we're kept guessing whether we can actually afford this, or it's too narrowly defined and doesn't explicitly allow for spontaneous, unplanned enjoyment. Now, most budgets are designed to prevent overspending, but very few are designed to permit spending, and that creates internal conflict. You think, I should be able to enjoy this, but what if this one indulgence or spending spree becomes a regular habit that slows my progress? What if I regret it? And that tug of war between present enjoyment and future security is what creates that subtle underlying feeling of guilt. To build a system where spending feels intentional, start with a fun money budget. That's a bucket of money that you're allowed to enjoy without guilt. It doesn't have a specific category like entertainment or dining out or hobbies. It's just there for whatever happens to come up at the moment. It's impulsive. Here's a simple rule of thumb. If you're working through debt rapidly right now at this stage, as we discuss as part of the Wealth Expedition framework, this percentage might only be 3 to 5% of take-home pay. If you're debt-free, let's say except for the mortgage, and you're building wealth and savings, this number might be closer to 5 to 10% of your take-home pay. Now, if you've built out all 4 categories that we discuss, that's the emergency fund, the preparation fund, the retirement fund, and optionally the opportunity fund, then this might be even 10 to 20% of your take-home pay for fun money. And if lifestyle is the main priority at this point, or you simply make far above the average income, it might even be up to 30%. Now, this isn't arbitrary. It's about giving yourself permission to enjoy life without derailing your future goals. One helpful trick is thinking about your fun money in daily terms. If your fun money budget is $25 per day, that means if you skip spending one day, you now have $50 to spend the next day. If you skip 2 days consecutively of spontaneous, uncategorized, and unplanned for spending, you now have $75 built up as a reserve, which you could potentially use if a sudden whim takes you. It makes your budget feel real and not restrictive, and it gives you flexibility without anxiety. Now, here's a rule that is called the 0.01% rule. On any given day, if something costs less than 0.01% of your net worth, don't overthink it. So if your total net worth is $100,000, a $10 purchase is a no-brainer. It's a no-think purchase. It's just not worth your time to debate it in your mind. You can afford it. If your net worth is $500,000, the $50 purchase is a no-brainer. If it's $1 million, $100, you shouldn't even blink an eye. This rule helps you spend without guilt because the cost literally does not affect your long-term trajectory. Then there are purchases that exceed your monthly fun money budget or take up a disproportionately large amount of it. So instead of impulse buying or instantly avoiding these, use a 2-step system. First, put it on a wish list. Hold it for a few weeks. Most things lose their appeal with time. But secondly, add it as a temporary line item for your sinking fund, what I call the preparation fund. So if it's a $400 item and you want it within 3 months, save $134 per month into that sinking fund. That makes it intentional spending and not impulsive. And it saves you from needing to pay interest by putting it on credit, or if they offer no interest financing, at least it keeps you from feeding the bad habit of financing purchases and being forced afterward to make it fit your future budget. In this way, you decide when and how to spend. If you don't want to wait for every purchase like this, keep a permanent bucket, a spontaneous spending fund that's around $500 to $1,000 on average, or roughly 10% of your monthly income. When something big comes up, you have the funds already ready to go, and you simply keep it topped up by rebuilding it whenever a withdrawal is taken from it. And finally, there's what I call the Opportunity Fund. This is a big part of the Wealth Expedition. It's a non-retirement account that you aim to grow to at least 1 year's worth of your income. Now, this isn't an indulgence fund, it's freedom capital. It can be used for extended travel, career flexibility, meaningful personal projects, larger lifestyle experiences, spontaneous purchases like what we're talking about. It gives you real financial freedom, and that is freedom of time, flexibility, and the opportunity to pursue greater purpose. Here's the bottom line. Wealth should not be a source of anxiety. It should be a source of enjoyment, both now and in the future. You should structure your wealth plan so that it leads to an excellence cycle, enjoying the present while building constructively toward an ever-improving future. When your budget explicitly accounts for enjoyment and spontaneous spending, your spending becomes intentional. Your financial life feels integrated. And you experience 3 very important psychological feelings: the feeling of plenty, the feeling of progress, and the feeling of possibility. That's guilt-free spending. If you want to build this system step by step, I've written a detailed breakdown in the article linked below. And if you want to see more videos like this, I welcome you to like and subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.